Happy Monday. This is Cindy, Team Bucket List American Travel Bureau, and we have Norwegian Cruise Lines today. Before we get started, I'm going to tell a little backstory. I've always wanted to be a chef, and I'm going to say about 6 years old, that was my dream to be a chef. And I was able to make that dream come true. And I spent 25 years in the restaurant business. And at the end of the career, I said, why not do something that's going to just be epic and close out my culinary career? And so I started working for Norwegian Cruise Lines, fell in love with cruising. And next thing you know, I'm blogging, I'm podcasting, and here we are all those years later. And I have a travel agency and I'm part of American Travel Bureau. So go ahead and introduce yourself, tell your little backstory about Norwegian, how you got started, and go ahead and start.
So, let me officially introduce myself. I'm Noshane King, and I have been with Norwegian for almost 6 years now, but I've been in a travel industry for a little over 10 years. So I started pretty young. And, Cindy and I, we were talking about it earlier. Once you're bitten by that travel bug, it's like it has a hold on you. So I'm stuck in this industry and I'm super excited to be here. And if you can hear my accent, of course, I was born and raised in Jamaica. So I'm a Caribbean girl, an island girl. So all of this is like embedded in my blood, and I'm super excited to be here. All right. So as you saw earlier on the screen, I'm ultimately going to talk about the Norwegian difference, some selling insights, some market resources, and literally how to book us. All right. So first of all, what I want to let you know is that cruise is growing, like the cruise industry is growing. So if you don't have selling cruises as a part of your 2025 and beyond goals, well, you're going to be missing out. Because as you saw on the screen here, as you're able to see on the screen, they're expecting like a 10% growth uh, over 20 up to 2028, the number of different cruise ships, not just within NCL, but also just the industry in general. So I'm saying this to say you should make cruise the cornerstone of your business. This is where the money is. As you notice, the trend is that's where it's leading. And this is the fastest way for you to build groups. And of course, you can plan 2.5 years in advance. You can lock the rate in early and make the best of it. But when it comes on to NCL, our product is very easy to market because this is the closest you are going to get to an all-inclusive at sea. You also have one of the highest guest satisfaction at sea. And of course, we have one of the highest repeat guest rates. So again, when you partner with NCL, you are looking at that long-term business, the repetition of the business, and also how you'll make more money from it. Now, as you go through, as you can see here, Norwegian continues to grow. We are the smallest of the three major cruise lines, but as you notice here on the screen, we have lots and lots of ships that are being built and are set to come out, which means that when you partner with us, you'll get to go on these inaugurals, you'll get to experience all of these. And as if you notice on the bottom portion of the screen, 2030 and beyond, we have more new ships on order. So again, these are things that you can use to get your clients excited. And this is how you build that repeat business for those clients who love the newer ships. They love everything shiny. You have more ships to sell to them. So in addition to the ships, most of you are not aware that we have two private islands. There's one in the Bahamas, it's called the Great Stirrup Key. And we also have one in Belize that's called Harvest Key. So in Great Stirrup Key, we do not have a pier currently. And so ultimately, we are building one, and that is scheduled to get done in 2025. It is not a theme park. It is not something that your client's going to go to and feels like they're going to have lots of rush and thrills. But what it's more of, it's like an elevated experience on an island. So you have Silver Cove, which is where you can rent day villas. You have a butler. You have someone to take care of everything at your beck and call. You have anywhere from a junior suite to a three-bedroom suite. But one of the unique selling points about the Silver Cove area, which is this bottom portion here that you're seeing, is that it's exclusive. So only the people who are booked in one of these villas for the day have access to it, which means they have their own beach chairs, their own beach towels, everything set up for them. In the top middle portion of my screen, that area is the general area. But what I can tell you is that these villas, they are relatively inexpensive because they can fit up to 8, 10 people. And depending on the time of the year for the day to have a butler, it's less than $80. And I'm pretty sure you've booked clients to stay at all-inclusive resorts. And a beach villa for the day can run anywhere from $200 to $300 for the day. So it is a great value and a great value add as an experience off of the shift when you're selling to your clients. So there we go. And that's the general area that we have there. So where to begin? Start looking at new to cruise passengers. Start exploring. This is a great way for you to fill your pipeline and to have repeat guests, and you can always move them up. So if they have always been going to resorts, this is a great way to introduce them to cruising, because our cruise ships are designed to have that resort feel with lots of outdoor spaces and chaise lounges, and we incorporated a lot of greenery and artwork. So it really gives them that resort vibe. We have an increasing number of travelers that are choosing to holiday at sea, and that has gone up by over 27%. So again, if your business isn't growing with this number of passengers that are choosing to take a cruise, you're leaving money on the table. So who may be a good fit for NCL? You want to look at the future of cruise generation. So right here, this pie, it shows you the baby boomers and Gen X's, they have balanced out each other right now. The millennials are catching up pretty quickly, but look at Gen Z. They are holding a decent chunk. So you need to definitely start targeting those clients if you want to know who to introduce to cruise. Also with the cruise, here we have the multi-gen, which is the grandparents, the parents, the children. That has gone up for over 33%. And this is specific to NCL. So ultimately, if your multi-generational business isn't growing, you're leaving money on the table. And this is a great area where you can book groups and multiple cabins. And this is how you make money the fastest way. And as you know, with NCL, you only need 5 cabins for it to be considered a group. So it's easy for a multi-gen group to form 5 cabins. You start earning your TCs faster, and it is so much more. So NCL is pretty much for everyone. If you're looking at families, if you're looking at singles, if you're looking at couples, just about everyone, it satisfies their needs. We have different types of entertainment, lots of destinations for you to choose from. And of course, we have a variety of accommodations. In case you didn't know this, Norwegian started the solo travel concept as it relates to the design of the cabins for people who are just traveling by themselves. So if for a passenger who is not looking to pay the double occupancy rate, Norwegian is a great option for them. But also remember, you can have anything from a solo person up to a 3-bedroom suite. So again, which is why it is great for just about anyone that's looking to travel. So as I mentioned before, there are a variety of cabin types and activities for everyone to enjoy. I mentioned that Norwegian, this is the closest you'll get to an all-inclusive. So we started the whole freestyle concept. So what does freestyle mean for your clients? freestyle ultimately means that your client gets to set their own time as to when they want to do whatever they want to do. So unlike the other cruise lines that have specific dining times or specific times that you do certain activities, Norwegian has multiple times that you can choose to dine, whether it's 1 a.m., 6 a.m., or midday. You name it, they have different restaurants open, and that is the whole freestyle concept. Another thing with freestyle is that you can choose to get dressed up, you can choose to get to dress down. It's entirely up to you. So we don't have like a set dress code. We do have a couple restaurants where you do have to get a little bit more dressed up, meaning like for men, they need closed-toe shoes and collared shirt. But outside of that, it's pretty much whatever you want to wear, meaning you can be a little bit more casual if you want to. So with our more at sea, which has which is the evolution of our free at sea concept, which we're doing away with come December 1st, it is all about giving your clients more of everything. So more drinks, more dining options, more ports, more, of course, more ships coming on board, like the Norwegian Aqua coming on board next year. It's really giving your clients options, which is what everyone wants nowadays. So as it relates to our fleet, currently we have 19 ships, where the Aqua coming out next year will make it 20 ships. So the Prima and Viva, they're very identical. So one was 2022, one was 2023. The Aqua has very similar design, but she's slightly bigger. So Prima and Viva, they are 3,100 passenger ship. The Aqua is 3,500 passengers. Now, most of you didn't know this, but for the Norwegian Encore, she just came out of dry dock. She's literally just making her way across the transatlantic. She's doing her transatlantic sailing, coming back to the continental US. So with the Encore, she was built in 2019. She's absolutely gorgeous, but guess what? We continue to listen to what the guests want. And one of the things that we've looked at is what are the areas that are underutilized on the ship. So there was a few gaming areas on the ship that they were underutilized, and we decided to remove those and put in areas that guests told us they would prefer. So Spice H2O, which is what you're seeing on my screen here, it's an adults only area that is complimentary. And you get to just hang out. You have pool, you have nice jacuzzis, you have bars and so forth. So again, we've taken out the laser tag, and now we put the Spice H2O in for you. We have also removed a few of the restaurants that were underutilized and expanded the ones that were more appreciated by the guests. So Los Lobos, which is our Mexican restaurant, it wasn't one of the most popular restaurants on board that ship, but the Cagney's, which is our steakhouse, was very popular. So what we've done is we've taken out Los Lobos and have expanded the area for the steakhouse. And now we can fit more people into the steakhouse, and that is what they're looking for. This is also the same for the teppanyaki. We have taken out, for those of you who are familiar with the Bliss and the Joy, or if you've sailed on the Encore before, this is where they had the specialty ice cream area, Coco's. So we've taken out Coco's, and now we've expanded the Japanese teppanyaki. Again, this is what the guests are asking for, and we continue to deliver. And while she was in dry dock, what we've done is we've expanded some of the cabin spaces. We've added the jacuzzi tubs on the outside, as you can see here, more chaise lounges, and give it a nice facelift. Again, this ship was built in 2019, and we had that extended pause that we won't mention. So you know the ship is still a new ship, but we still put her back into dry dock to get her up to speed. So, with our ship class, this is our ship class overview for those of you who are relatively new or not familiar with the class of ships that we have. So, the Encore that I just mentioned, the Bliss, the Joy, and Escape, they fall under the Breakaway Plus class of ships. We have the Breakaway and Getaway, which is the Breakaway class. We have the Pride of America, for example, the ship that sails in Hawaii. It's a ship in its own class, and of course, a few others. So the Spirit went into dry dock in 2022. She got some facelift. These ships are new as well, so I won't dwell on those. So just to give you guys an overview as to what these ships look like. So I mentioned the Prima and the Viva earlier, that they are brand new ships. The Aqua, which comes out in April. And for those of you on the East Coast, you're going to love this because she'll be home porting either in Florida or in New York. So in New York, she'll be doing Bermuda sailings. And when she's in Florida, she'll either be sailing out of Orlando or out of Miami doing the Eastern Caribbean. So here's a little video to kind of put it into perspective as to what she looks like. Can you hear it, guys?
We can go anywhere, 'cause we got the world and we can go
She's the ship that comes out in April. So again, like I mentioned, as these newer ships, they are built to bring your clients closer to the water. So if you really want to convert some of those land vacationers to introduce them to cruising, I would highly recommend some of our newer ships because of the design. As you can see, Infinity Beach here, that's deck 8. So deck 8 does not have any cabins. We just have wide open spaces with chaise lounges and infinity edge pools, lots of restaurants and bars. So it gives them more like a promenade where they can stroll down the boulevard and enjoy different drinks and food. So it's great for those people who are new to cruising. We have new dining concepts, which is Plantary for those who prefer a plant-based dining experience. We have this on our new ships that that's coming out. We have this new Thai cuisine, and we also have an exclusive wine bar that's available. However, the Aqua that comes out in April of this year, she has a sister ship that comes out in 2026. But 2026, we have the Norwegian Luna, and she will be identical to the Norwegian Aqua. I have a little video here. I pulled it through from YouTube, so let me see if it will play for you. that's from YouTube. So if you guys want that video, it's available on our YouTube page, so you can also use it. We if you want to add your call to action to it, our team on the inside, or marketing team can also do that. So when your clients watch it, when you post it, it comes right back to you. So we can set that up. But here are some closer images, and some of these are taken from the aqua. So very similar, as you can see. So the main pool deck is lots of wide open spaces. If you take a closer look at even the chaise lounges, it's giving a resort vibe rather than your typical ship look and feel. The picture at the bottom, that's the adults only area, which is the Vibe Beach Club. This area, there's a fee for it, unlike the Spice H2O, which is included. If you notice here, this ship does not have the racetrack on it, neither does her sister ship, and it's because we have evolved from the racetrack. So now we have the slide coaster, which is a roller coaster and water slide combo. The good thing is this is included, so your clients don't need to pay extra to use it, unlike the racetrack where they have to pay extra for it. So here's some information on her, slightly bigger than the Prima and Viva, like I mentioned. So let's take a good closer look at some of the accommodations that we have here. So we have ocean views inside, like I mentioned, solo staterooms, balcony, club balcony, and of course the Haven. So this picture was taken from the Prima, which is one of our new ships. And as you can see, we've moved away from the traditional look and feel of cruise, of staterooms, and we've made it lighter, brighter, and way more inviting. So very beautifully appointed. When you're booking with us, we do have this one area where you can even see if these staterooms are connecting staterooms, which is on our Norwegian Quest. It has those dotted lines, and it tells you like these are connecting staterooms. So when you're booking, instead of making a request, the system will automatically let you know that these can connect or not. Okay. So solo staterooms, this is what they look like for those of you who have been curious. So this is the layout. They're usually around 100 square feet, so perfect for one person. But what really sets Norwegian apart from the rest of the cruise lines is our studio lounge, which is at the bottom here. So pretty much all solo travelers would have access to the studio lounge, which is an area where all solo people can go. They can have a continental breakfast, they have games and whatnot. So they have their own little area that's exclusive to them. Bear in mind that even though the studio lounge is only available on some ships, we have studio staterooms on all ships. So we have over 1,000 of these available for you to sell. Here's a look at some of our club balcony staterooms. We also have the Haven. So very similar to the solo staterooms, the Haven area is exclusive. It's key card access only. However, the Haven, they have their own pools, their own restaurants, bars, entertainment. So it's like a ship within a ship. It's for those people who don't want all the excitement of the big ship. They want to have a nice, separate experience, but they may like the itinerary, or they want a little more tailored service when they're traveling. Or it could be a case where they like smaller ships, but they want the amenities that a big ship comes with. The Haven is perfect for those people. So they are on at different locations of the different ships, but typically they're on the top of the ship. So they range from 1-bedroom suites to 3-bedroom suites, and you can get up. Some of these suites are over 1,000 square feet, so really big, and some are even 2 stories. So again, it really depends on what your clients are looking for. So just going to quickly highlight some of the destinations that we have here. Like I mentioned, we have over 50 ports that we depart from. And of course, we just canceled some sailings. Some of you guys may have seen those announcements. Some of those were very important for us to cancel due to the area may not have been in demand or other reasons for whether it is the unrest that's out there or political reasons. We have decided to pull the ships from some of those locations. However, we have added new ports in the US. So Jacksonville, Philadelphia, and Whittier are now departure ports for us. We also have the youngest fleet in Alaska, so don't forget Alaska. We have the only ship that sails year-round in Hawaii, 4 different islands with 2 overnights in Maui and Kauai. So your clients are getting over 100 hours in port when they are on the Pride of America. We have, for those of you on the East Coast, especially the tri-state area, of course, Bermuda is a big market for you guys. Our deployments are really based on the more ports and longer times in ports. So some of these numbers that I'm highlighting here is just to show you like some of the competitive, us versus the competitors. So we spend more time in port, like in Europe. We spend more time in port in Alaska, in the Caribbean. So these are things that you can talk to your clients about. So for the 2025 seasons, here are some of the departure ports that we have. And most of these ports, we also have cruise tours. So if you have clients who want to go in or stay later to explore the city. And don't forget, the cruise tours, you earn 10% commission on those as well. So make sure you take advantage of those. So I won't dwell too much on these, just wanted to quickly highlight so I can get past that, like I mentioned. So for Alaska, I have to highlight Alaska because we have 4 ships in Alaska. We have the Encore, which is the one I showed you earlier that just left the dry dock. And our sailing window, if you notice, it's longer than our competitors. It's from April till October. So we're spending like 6 months in Alaska. Bear in mind that the Encore is the only one that goes to Glacier Bay. The Bliss also has very similar itinerary, but she goes to a different glacier, which is the Dawes Glacier. So wanted to point that out. Again, both of these ships leave from Seattle. We also have the Norwegian Joy that does a longer sailing. So instead of the typical 7-day sailing, the Joy does 9 days. And we also have those open jaw sailings that your clients are able to do that goes all the way up to Whittier. And again, these are one ways. All right, so I'm getting pretty close. I'm just gonna quickly skip through. Again, Caribbean is back on trend, so you want to definitely look at the Caribbean for those ports that your clients like. So this is the last area that I'm going to quickly go through so that you guys can get a better understanding. So more at sea, I did not remove this because I want you to, I just wanted to have it as a reminder that the free at sea goes until December 31st. So if you have clients that are traveling throughout the rest of this year, they will be getting more at sea. Free at sea. However, our More at Sea program started on October 1st for all bookings sailing January 1st and onwards, which means if you had clients that were booked prior to October 1st, they will be grandfathered into the More at Sea program, which simply means if you had clients who paid for our upgraded drink package and your clients should have gotten a refund because we have automatically upgraded them to the More at Sea package, which is in the premium package ultimately. So that is a big win for your clients. They're getting their money back, but they're still getting the premium experience. The airfare, I'm going to talk about that. Our free airfare are our second guest flights for free. This is not for everyone, guys. It is a great value And it's for those clients who they are looking for more of a deal rather than convenience. So if you have clients who are very particular about which cruise line they sail with, sorry, which airline they fly with, what time they get in or what time they depart, which seat they got to be in, our free air is not for them. However, if it's a passenger that says, I don't care what time I leave, I'm just looking for the best rate. And if that includes I have to make a stop in New York going over to Europe, I'm fine with doing that if it's going to save me $2,000. Then you know this free air is for those clients who want the saving. So I'm explaining this to you so when you're speaking with your clients, you can set the expectations and let them decide if they prefer to be on Delta in a premium economy versus it could be British Airlines, that kind of thing. So just wanted to point that out. We also have Cruise First, which is a promotion that you'll see on our website. And your clients may ask you about, what about the free money that Norwegian says they're giving to us? Cruise First is like a coupon where your clients can put $150 down and we double that to 300 and it satisfies their deposit requirements. That 150 that they give to NCL is non-refundable, but it's transferable. And if they have to cancel and it's outside of final payment, that coupon goes back to their account and they can use it on a different sailing, just that they do not get back the money. Cruise Next is what you buy while you are on the ship. So just wanted to point that out. Now, for our More at Sea, you may have been asking what is the major difference between the free at sea. So I have a comparison sheet here for you. This sheet is also available to you on the TA portal if you have access to the TA portal. So with our More at Sea, what we've done is to include more premium beverages. Previously, we would cap the drinks at $15 per drink, even though it was unlimited drinks. If your clients ordered over $15, let's say the drink was for $18, we would charge them the incremental difference. Now, we're not doing that anymore. Your clients won't have a charge when they order a drink. So this is where the more value comes in. So now that they have over 100 cocktails to choose from, with the previous, with free at sea, when it comes onto the specialty dining, let's use a 7-night sailing as an example. That used to be 2 meals, as you notice here, but now they're getting 3 meals. So again, it's a greater value that your clients are getting. Now, one more thing to note, with the free at sea, your clients would have to pay gratuities and all these things. And you would constantly ask us, why can't you factor in the gratuity and just have my clients pay one price? So the gratuity, for example, on the drink package used to be $22.95 per day. With the More at Sea, we have factored all the government taxes that they would charge, the gratuities and whatnot, and it's one flat fee of $30. And that's with all of those additional fees that they would pay. And then once they pay that $30 per day, there's no additional fees unless they want like a Louis XIII, some really high-end drinks. So just wanted to point that out. Are there any more questions for me?
Yes, I want to bring up a few things. So as a travel agent with the American Travel Bureau and Norwegian, you actually have access to get net rate. So which that means when you book a trip as a travel agent for your booking, you could actually subtract 100% of your commission and it could go back to that trip. So instead of doing gross, you could actually do net. Also, we have site inspections, which I want you to cover here in a little bit, and then seminar at sea. So you want to really tap into the education of what Norwegian is offering. And then we'll go to Sharon because she has a question. So site inspections and seminar at sea.
So you guys did an exceptional job over the past year and a half. So this year it was so hard for us to get cabins on the ship. And I'm pretty sure you've seen this even at resorts. They've reported record high earnings and they were always booked out. We our VP promised us that next year we're definitely going to have some cabins set aside for seminars at sea. So once they get back in January, they'll start to let us know what those dates are so we can lock those in and have you guys start planning as early as possible. For those of you who are here in California, Southern California, the Norwegian Joy is the ship we have sailing currently out of LA. So come January, I'll be doing some ship inspections. Let's do lunch. So we'll get on the ship, we'll do a tour of the ship, and we'll also have lunch on the ship as well. So we'll be doing some of those. For those of you who are not in California and you're close to a port and you want to see the ship that is in port, just let me know. You have to give me at least 2 months notice to get you clearance, and I can definitely get you set up to do a self-guided tour.
Do you see the question in the chat, Noshane?
Yes, I just opened up the chat. I'm going in. Someone says, woohoo, Spice H2O. Let me see. Go-kart's nice. Free air second guess. How do you price solo passengers? So great question. So typically the promotion is a second guest flies for free. But if it's a solo passenger, we do a discounted rate for the solo passenger. So they kind of get they still get a flight promo. They would still have to pay some. There will still be a payment or a charge. It's just that they won't pay the full price because we'll give them a discount on it. Okay. April has her hand up.
Hi, how are you? Thank you
I'm
for
doing great. Thank
the
you.
presentation. Um, my question was, I was listening, if you could kind of go over again, you said that the taxes and the gratuities and things were added into one fee for the $30 a day fee. Prior to the gratuities were based at $20 per day. So going forward with this new, um, the extra $10 are covering the increase of the premium beverages and the additional dining day for a 7 day, for example. Is that where
Well,
the extra $10 is calculated there, or?
Well, it's not 10 because the gratuities used to be 22.95, so technically $23. But depending on the port we're in, those countries or cities would still charge you taxes on drinks that you order while you're in port.
Hmm.
So we take all of those things into consideration. The only exception to this rule is Hawaii. They charge an additional tax. I think it's called a get tax, and I think that's like 4.95%. So that's the only exception to the rule. But all of our other fleets, um, sorry, it's that $130 a day. And if you really think about it, when if you go to a bar nowadays, the average drink is $15. And by the time you tip the bartender, that's $20. So I always say to my travel advisors, if your clients are going to have at least 2 drinks for the day, it's totally worth it. And these are premium drinks. So you have like Grey Goose and all the top shelf drinks that is now factored in that they used to have to pay for. And like I mentioned earlier, say for example, a client ordered a drink with Grey Goose and that had a value of $20, they would still have to pay that $5, that extra $5. So for every drink that they order, there would be an extra $5 charge. And it adds up pretty quickly. So it gives your clients that peace of mind to know everything is paid for upfront and I don't have to worry about these nickeling and diming, so to speak.
All right. I had a second part to my question too. You mentioned bookings prior to a certain date would be grandfathered into the new more at sea from the free at sea. What's
Mhm.
that date? And when does the more at sea actually go into effect going
So,
forward?
so any bookings that were made prior to October 1st. So if you made a booking 2 years ago for to travel in 2025, then guess what? They are getting it. So the Moratsi goes into effect January 1st. So the systems and everything changes January 1st, and everybody will be grandfathered in to the new drink package.
Okay, because I'm just asking because I have uh bookings now, but I just did them November 1st.
Sorry,
So
they're gonna have to pay that $30. But the ones before that 22.95 fee that they paid, it technically covers the new fee. So we're
so
not going to we're not going to say, hey, you have to pay us the difference. We're not asking for the difference. We're just grandfathering them in.
okay, but for them particularly, then they will have the additional to pay. Is that what you're saying?
Who?
The bookings that I have that was booked in November.
They will be paying the $30 per day, per person per day. Now,
That's
there
not
are
shown. Yeah, that's not shown on their contract as of now. It's still at the $20 per day rate. That's why I asked. So will they get an updated uh
when are they traveling?
they're traveling in August.
Double check. Because the $20 per day might be the for the dining. So the dining was two dining on a 7 day sailing, and we used to charge a $19.80 gratuity on it, where now it's a flat $20 a day for the dining. So you may want to check that.
Okay, because that's separate from the gratuities, because they have two charges. They have the beverage charge, they have the dining charge, and they have the gratuity charge. It's three separate.
Oh, I see what you're talking about. That's the service charge. So the drink charge and the dining charge, those are the ones that I'm
Oh,
talking about.
okay.
The $20 per day that you clients are paying, that's what all the cruise line charge for, like the people who clean the cabins and so
Right.
forth. That's what that is for. That doesn't change.
Oh, okay. That has nothing to do with this. So
No.
what I'm asking now, are they gonna have an additional $30 per day charged, or is it gonna
No. So when you look at the invoice,
okay.
the under the drink area,
Mm-hmm.
whatever they're charging you there, that's it.
Okay,
To
okay.
cover for the drinks. That is it.
Okay, good. So I just wanted, to a heads up if they were gonna, get a new charge that they're not anticipating.
No. So once you have added on the drink, the system automatically charge you that per day fee, so you don't have to do the calculation.
Perfect, perfect. All
Okay.
right. Thank you so much.
So for
Okay.
Mexico, when is that gonna change for the 40 some dollars for the fee that they're gonna charge? Does that take effect next year?
Well, we haven't gotten an official statement from our corporate office on it yet, so I'm pretty sure they're trying to figure out how how that will be implemented. If it's a case that they're going to absorb it or if they are going to pass it on to the passenger. I haven't gotten any official statement on it. But as soon as there's one, I'm pretty sure I'll be sending it out. Plus, we will release it through our partners first page.
Thank you.
Any other questions for me? No?
Janelle, you have any questions?
No, but I've never actually sailed on Norwegian and now it's like has definitely creeped up higher on my list. I want to check out some of these ships
Oh
for
my
sure.
God, yes. Yeah.
Hmm. No, it
So
sounds great.
because of the time constraint, I was unable to get into the nitty-gritty of the groups promo, but I'm hoping that Cindy, to do the groups training that will require less time, probably like 20 minutes or so tops. So if we can schedule a follow-up, because Norwegian has the best groups program at sea
Yes.
where you can make bonus commission, you earn the TC faster. So like with Norwegian, it's every 1 for 10, that's how you earn the TC, whereas the other cruise lines, it's 1 for 16. So you really make more money faster when you sell NCL. We have the youngest fleet at sea. We have as you can see, and I mentioned earlier, depend on the ship, 20 something restaurants to choose from. Um, and almost every restaurant has a bar. So your clients have so much to that they get when they're there. The entertainment is top notch. We're known for the best entertainment at sea. So we have a lot to offer. And once you experience it, you will always want to, because then you'll see the value in it for your clients and also for yourself. So it's a win-win.
Definitely. And then also for my national holiday, the National Bucket List Day, I would like to do it on one of the NCL ships. I'm thinking probably March. You could come on and we could do a group training. That would be really great.
Right. And I dropped my contact details in the chat. So if you are group specialist or you want to grow your group business, feel free to reach out to me directly. I can walk you through it if you don't want to wait until March. But I can tell you this is the fastest way for you to make money because you can literally make a lot of money just doing groups with NCL. And if I can share with you a travel advisor, she started her travel business in the middle of the pandemic. It was 2021. And I can tell you she's my number one seller here in Southern California. And what is most impressive is that she's a solo person. She's a single person agency. And for this year alone, she's sold over $1 million and she did it through groups.
Wow.
And she's made a lot of money because imagine how many passengers that is. And for every 5 cabins, she gets a free person. So just think about, let's say one person is 800 or $1,000 for every 9 people. The 10th person, she's getting that person for free. She's made so much money, not just with commission, but with the TC. So I'm saying this to say it's doable once you understand our groups program and how you can really work it. It will help you to build not only your client base, but it gives your clients more value because our groups program gives you group discounts as well.